Hello and welcome. Today we're in the tier 9 Japanese destroyer, the Kitakaze. And this is a match on Crash Zone Alpha, and it is a ranked battle from the last ranked season. Now, in this match both sides have 5 destroyers and 1 battleship. And because it is on Crash Zone Alpha, we decide to concentrate our forces to the B and A camps, so that we can have all available guns on A and B, and hopefully win the fight over there without, sending any ships to sea, because then we have a better concentration of force. And if you're sitting there right now thinking, hold on, I've seen this video before, well, I kinda felt the same way, because the last video I posted was the same map, the same spawn, and the same ship composition basically, 5 destroyers and 1 battleship. And the crazy part is that these games, while playing ranked, happened one after another. That one was me getting from rank 2-3 to 2-2, and this one I suppose you'll see, but it'll go pretty well, because concentration of force works rather well. However, this time you'll see it goes slightly differently, because you can see an enemy playing in a different way against this. Well, I suppose they're only playing slightly differently, because they'll still send some ships to sea, as you can see over there. So this means that we do hold an advantage. This time as well, we also have a black while the enemy does not have a radar, but again, the radar isn't the big thing that makes the difference. It could be a huge deciding factor, it just wasn't in either of these games. It was mostly about the concentration of force. I remind my team that we need to turn in and go immediately to the A cap, because obviously the enemy has at least 1 ship at sea, meaning that it would be a 6 versus 5 fight in our favor, and thus it makes sense to go there. So I decide to turn towards the A cap roughly, and I am ready the moment I spot torpedoes to try to avoid them. And on top of that, I also want to be able to slow down to smoke, so that if I get spotted I won't be focus fired down quickly, because even a few seconds can be a big difference in the amount of HP you have left. And so if I'm the first ship towards the enemy and I make first contact, I want to be able to disengage immediately so I don't get focus fired, because once everybody starts firing on our team and their team, it'll be more chaotic and people won't focus fire as much, so it'll be good to have that small disengagement that's at the start. And there is the Venom. I get spotted, and I start turning away, because I want to be turned away slightly while disengaging, because torpedoes are definitely something I need to worry about. Oh wow, the Venom actually never fired. Okay. Well, I did waste time on the smoke. I should have used the smoke earlier, but it went fine. I can slow down here roughly in this position, in the way I am currently angled. If the Kitakaze, the Mercury, wasn't in front of me like that, I would not make this turn that I'm making right now, because I would be too afraid of torpedoes. Because one single torpedo could potentially sink me. But because she is over there, it's fine. I can do this turn without any risk, and, well, with little risk, and just start sailing towards the A cap as well. There's the torpedoes. The main thing is that they have a Venom, and Venom puts out a lot of torpedoes, meaning that she's quite dangerous. Because one errant torpedo and your game can be over. For example, our Kitakaze got torpedoed by the enemy Kitakaze. Just 1 torpedo and she's gone. So this is something we do need to care about a lot. But right now, it's okay, because we are on the edge of the A cap and we are chasing them away. Sure, we've lost 1 of our ships, but I think we have done enough damage to the enemy ship so far that we are gonna be okay in the fight. Especially since, well, one of the Kitakazes on the enemy team isn't here. So this means they will have fewer guns. Although that Kitakaze is probably going to make the life of our Musashi hell, but battleships are supposed to tank after all, right? Anyway, we sank one of their destroyers, so we're equal now. And now it's time to take the A-cap. Dodge some torpedoes. Easy. And now maybe it's time to actually shell the Musashi. At least I'm gonna torpedo her. This was a foolish maneuver that I just did, because if those torpedoes had been positioned slightly differently, this could have either done a huge amount of damage to me or even ended my game. But now that the torpedoes have passed, I can easily do the turn with little risk. Anyway, I should be able to torpedo the Musashi. At least one torpedo should be able to hit her. And now I'm turning away to go back towards the B-cap to, well, help our Musashi and to get rid of that Kitakaze. Sure, the Venom will come back again and take the cap and all that, but it's fine. We don't want to be in a position to chase a Venom because she is good at torpedoing, and because of that, it would mean that it's likely one of us would get hit by a torpedo and perhaps sink. It's just not worth it, at least. At least not until we deal with all the other ships that we can easily deal with, the Kitakazes for example, the one at B, or the one that's in that smokescreen over there. Or the one that's on the smokescreen, and the other smokescreen. Anyway, it seems I'm gonna hit a few torpedoes on that Musashi. That's gonna be good. The main worry about our current positioning is that there could be torpedoes coming from our sides, because there's two smokescreens that obviously have destroyers. But luckily that doesn't happen. Anyway, we hit a few torpedoes in the Musashi. This, I would say, effectively takes the Musashi out of the fight for a long time. Because, I mean, look at where she's going. Her positioning is far away from all of our ships, and she's sailing away. Meaning that she probably isn't going to be coming close anytime soon. And now we're going into the B-cap, and we're just gonna take it. Sure, the Venom is probably gonna be turning around soon, or maybe even at A, but we'll deal with that later. Right now we got a free Kitakaze basically. Well, actually this is the one that took a whole bunch of damage early on, so she's not exactly free, but we at least managed to finish her off. Now it's time to deal with a Mogador that's trying to be cheeky by slowing down and speeding up, but luckily I foresaw that, so basically all my shells still went on point. Now she's speeding up though, so it's gonna be difficult. I did smoke, but I'm not gonna stick in the smoke for long, because it doesn't make sense due to the fact that Mogador's torpedoes are excellent, and there they are. I could have easily been hit by these if I had slowed down and stayed in that smoke. Anyway, Mogador's gone, so now it's time to deal with the Kitakaze. And now my smoke is gonna cover me. And this time I'm not gonna be quite as afraid, although there could be some slight worry that torpedoes could arrive, so obviously I'm gonna continue moving. I can't win that fight against that Kitakaze alone, but with the help of a few other ships, that could easily be doable. And hey, I think we got kinda lucky. The Venom has not actually gone for the A-cap. The Jutland has gone to try to dissuade the Venom from taking the A-cap, but honestly I figured that at this point the Venom would have taken the cap already. I suppose there's two possibilities. One, she's actually actively torpedoing the Musashi and trying to be on her side and doesn't want to spook her, or the second one is that Venom didn't know if any ships tried to follow her, and so she tried to run away. And well, I mean, she did run away, and we didn't know where she was. But none of us chased her, so we didn't really waste any ships on trying to deal with her. I was thinking of chasing the Kitakaze here at B, but I don't think it's actually worth it. As long as the black stays around here somewhere, and the Kitakaze tries to stay safe at this point, I think they can... Oh, there she is. Okay, well, I was thinking that maybe they can't actually deal with the Kitakaze, but if I'm here, we can definitely deal with her. We have the guns of 3 ships versus the guns of 1 ship. Sure, our ships might not have as much HP, but we just have so much more firepower than she does. I mean, she hasn't even sunk one of us, and she's almost gone. It only took a few seconds, right? The Jutland and the Musashi managed to deal with the Venom. Unfortunately, our Musashi is fairly low, so she probably won't be able to win the fight against the enemy Musashi, but that's okay. We have 4 destroyers still that can pick up the slack, and if we all rush the Musashi together with our torpedoes, we will definitely sink her. And honestly, we don't even need to do that. He also gave some advice to the Musashi, or Black, that she could be more aggressive at the start, because this time she kind of stuck and sat back for a while. Which isn't quite as useful as a torpedo destroyer because, well, radar destroyer, because you aren't in a position to use your radar well. But I mean, it worked out fine. It's surprising that the Musashi didn't try to ram one another. Well, one of them at least didn't want to. Anyway, 32mm of penetration from my FHE is excellent, and this Musashi is very dead. Oh, yeah, I guess I can't fire that second set. It would hit my friendly Jutland. And there she goes, and this is rank 1 for me. Or was rank 1 for me. It was quite near the end of the season. Here you can see. Doubloons. I used to collect these doubloons in the past to buy premium time. Because I figured that ranking out wasn't that difficult for me, and hey, it's free premium, right? I took 3 caps, sank 3 ships, got 2,000 base XP. I would say that I did my part. I'd like to compliment all of them, but unfortunately I have run out of all the compliments for the day because I played too many games in that day. I would say that everyone on our team played well. They definitely did their part. Also, I like how this screen is bugged. It still shows that the first guy on the losing team loses a star. That doesn't really happen. Here you can see the damage. It was a nice 11-minute game. I did take 19,000 damage. I almost sank, but almost is not quite. And that means I still could bring all of my guns to bear and make the opposing team's life kind of difficult. These are the commander skills I used on her: Priority Target, Last Stand, Survivability Expert, Concealment Expert, and then IFHE obviously, Basic Firing Training, and then Adrenaline Rush. But the interesting part is in the upgrades that I use. I use the range upgrade, as you can see, instead of the reload upgrade, and that's because I think it makes more sense with the combination of my commander skills, because it's just better in my opinion. Because you can use the range very well against battleships, and it's very annoying for a battleship to deal with. Meanwhile, you can still put out quite a lot of firepower, and I think this combination was the best one for me in this ranked season. Let's check the stats that I had this season. I think this was the best ranked season I have had. 68 battles, 69% win rate, and this is in ranked. I played almost all of my games in the Kitakaze. I think the Musashi was the second most played at 7. Whereas the Kitakaze is at 53. And honestly, 70% win rate in ranked is actually quite crazy, at least over this amount of games. It's not something common, and for me it's a very, very good season. Well, Kitakaze is a ship that she fit me really well this season, and in general, she's a very strong ship. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Barbosa, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.